Good morning, students. Welcome to today's lecture. In the last class, we discussed concept of fractions, in which we saw any number which contains a numerator and a denominator is said to be a fraction. Make sure the denominator is not equal to 0, because if denominator is 0, that number does not exist. Okay. Second, we did types of fractions, in which we saw fractions like proper fraction, in which denominator is larger than numerator. Then we saw improper fraction, in which numerator is larger than denominator. And then we saw mixed fraction, that is the way we convert improper into mixed fraction. After that, we saw comparing fractions, in which we have to first convert two fractions into like fractions, and then only we can compare them. Okay. After that, we did some examples on solving fractions. In all these examples of addition, subtraction, the thing we noticed is to add or subtract fractions easily, we always make the denominator same. Okay, let's continue our discussion. So, this was your homework in the last lecture. I hope all of you have done these questions comfortably. You can check answers you have got from these. I have provided the answers question 1 and 2 only. Okay. Now, in question 1, I have solved two parts for you just to have a clear idea how to solve. Question is 9 upon 11 minus 4 upon 15. You can observe the denominator here is 11, denominator here is 15, and they are different. So we can say these two fractions are unlike fractions. So to solve them, first thing we need to do is we will make their denominator same. For that, we have to take LCM of 11 and 15. So you can see I have taken the LCM over here of 11, 15. First, with 11 I have taken 11 ones are 11, comma 11 can't divide 15, so 15 will come as it is. Then I have taken 5, it is already done, the 1 has come. 5 threes are 15. Then with 3, 3 ones are, sorry, this is 1 only, 3 ones are 3. So we can say 11 into 5 into 3 is the LCM of 11 and 15, which is actually same number, that is 11 into 15, which is 165. So we have to make the denominator in both these numbers as 165. Now let's start. You can see I have multiplied in the denominator 15. As I am doing a multiplication from my side in the denominator, so I have to do in the numerator also, because then only it will be balanced. Okay, you can see. Now you must be thinking how I got that I should multiply with 15 only. Just observe this term. You already have 11. To obtain 165, I multiplied with 15. So here also I did with 15. Now minus 4 by 15. Here what should we multiply to get 165? Again see this term. We have 15 already. You can see I multiplied 11 here to get 165. So 11 upon 11. Now 9 15s are 135, 11 15s are 165, minus 4 11s are 44, 15 11s are 165. Now as the denominators are same, we can take them as single like this. This is called taking LCM, because we all know LCM of 165 and 165 is only 165. Okay. Now 165 and this is same, so we'll just subtract these two, that is 135 minus 44, and the answer is 91 upon 165. Please check whether it is proper improper fraction. Yes, it is proper fraction. Why proper? Because denominator is larger. So no need to convert this into mixed fraction. Okay. Now fifth part. I think many of you must have doubt in this one because here we have three terms. The examples I gave you in the last lectures were of two terms, but nothing to worry about. It is similar. Same thing will be done here also. To add them, you have to see the denominator. Denominator here is 10, 5 and 2, which are different. So these three are unlike fractions. We will try to make them like fractions by taking LCM of 10, 5 and 2. Let's take 10, 5 to LCM is 2 5s are 10. It can't divide 5, so 5 will come as it is. 2 ones are 2. Then I've taken 5, 5 ones are 5, 5 ones are 5 and 1 as it is. So you may say 2 5s are 10 is LCM of these three numbers. Okay. Now see, first number 7 upon 10. Already this is 10, so no need to multiply anything over here. So we'll leave it as it is. Plus we have 2 upon 5. Now see, we all know to obtain 10 we multiply 2 with 5. So 2 in the denominator and 2 in the numerator to balance what we are doing. Similarly, 3 upon 2 multiplied 5 upon 5. Now they became 7 upon 10 plus 4 upon 10 plus 15 upon 10. Now we can take LCM of these three. They become single 10 like this, and 7 plus 4 plus 15 becomes 26. We can simplify it further. You can see these 26 and 10 both are factor of 2. So 2 5s are 10 and 2 13s are 26. Sorry, they are not factor, they are multiple of 2. So we can divide these two numbers by 2 and the final answer is 13 upon 5. If you observe, it is a improper fraction. Can you tell why? Yes, because the numerator is larger than denominator. So the answer is 2, 3 upon 5. I hope you understood the method how to obtain a mixed fraction. Okay, in case of any doubts, you may see the previous lecture. Question number 2. Arrange in descending order. Again, arranging in descending or ascending order is a question of comparing fractions. We want to compare these three fractions to tell which one is largest, then the second one and the lowest one. For that again, I told you whether you want to add, whether you want to subtract or whether you want to compare. In all these cases, you need to get like fractions first. And you may see it is not a like fraction. The terms are 9, 3 and 21. The first thing we will take their LCM like this. 3 3s are 9, 3 1s are 3, 3 7s are 21. Then again with 3, 3 1s are 3, 1 is same again. It can't divide 7, so 7 will come same to same. Last is we will take 7 and we'll get 1 1 1 as the answer. So 3 into 3 into 7 is the LCM, which is 63. Now first number is 2 upon 9. I want to make denominator as 63 because that is LCM. So we all know if we multiply 7 in 9 we will get 63. So as I am multiplying in denominator, I have to multiply in numerator also for the balance, comma 2 upon 3. What should we multiply in 3 to get 63? No issue. If you find it difficult to guess what number to multiply, just see here. Cover the number you have already. We have 3, I covered 3. See what is remaining. Remaining is 3 into 7, that is 21 upon 21, comma 8 upon 21. What to multiply? Cover 21. See what is left? Only 3. So 3 upon 3. And we have got the numbers as 14 upon 63, 42 upon 63, 24 upon 63. You may observe that this number 14 upon 63 is same as 2 upon 9. this 14 upon 63 is said to be a equivalent fraction, because if I solve it, I will get the same number back. Similarly, 2 by 3's equivalent fraction is 42 by 63. 8 by 21's equivalent fraction is 24 upon 63. Now it is easy to understand which one is largest. You can say this one is largest because denominator is same in everyone. Just compare the numerator. 42 is largest, then 24, then 14. See, I have written here. After writing this, you may write the proper answer, which is the question. So we saw that 42 upon 63 is actually 2 upon 3. See one? These two were same. So 2 by 3 is the largest. Then 24 by 63 is actually 8 upon 21. And 14 upon 63 is 2 upon 9. I hope you got this. Now, question number 3. You can try this on your own. Still, I am giving you a hint. It is saying in a magic square, the sum of numbers in each row. So you can see this is row 1. These horizontal are known as row. So we have row 1, row 2 and row 3. Similarly, the vertical one are known as columns. This is column 1, column 2, column 3. Okay, and these are diagonals. You can see my arrow. This is a diagonal. Similarly, this is a diagonal. So we understood that the horizontal lines are rows, the vertical lines are columns, and these lines at an angle are diagonals. Okay. Now it is saying in a magic square, the sum of numbers in each row, in each column, and along diagonals is same. Then it is asking, is this a magic square? So what we have to do? We have to find sum of each row, each column and each diagonal and check whether all of them are coming same or not. Suppose they have done one part for you. They are doing in first row. First row is this one. So they have done 4 upon 11 plus 9 upon 11 plus 2 upon 11. So one thing is very easy for us, that denominator is same in every number. So we don't have to do that LCM part now. Just add them simply. LCM is 11. 4 plus 9 is, yes, 13 plus 2 is 15. So we have got 15 upon 11. This is R1, or you can say first row. Similarly, you can find second row, that is 3 upon 11 plus 5 upon 11 plus 7 upon 11. And third row, then you can find column 1, that is this plus this plus this. Then you can find column 2, this plus this plus this. This will not take a lot of time. It is very easy to add them. After adding all the rows, all the columns, remainings are two diagonals. Diagonals are this, that is 4 by 11 plus 5 by 11 plus 6 by 11, and 8 by 11 plus 5 by 11 plus 2 by 11. You have to check whether all are giving 15 upon 11 as answer or not. If not, then it is not a magic square. If all are giving 15 upon 11, then it is a magic square. Now, question 4 is, a rectangular sheet of paper is 12 1 by 2 centimeter long and 10 2 by 3 centimeter wide. We all know in a rectangle there are two quantities, length and breadth. Question is saying find its perimeter. I hope all of you have done rectangle in class 6th. Still, let me tell you what is a perimeter. Suppose this is a rectangle. Perimeter of any polygon, whether it is rectangle, triangle, pentagon, whatever figure you take, perimeter is simply sum of all sides. So you may say, if I add this side plus this side plus this side plus this side, I will get what is known as perimeter. Okay. Now, first thing is, we have given this length, which is 12 1 by 2, a mixed fraction. I have converted this into normal fraction by doing 2 12s are 24 plus 1 25 upon 2, and breadth is 3 10s are 30 plus 2 32 upon 3, like this. So we have got the length and breadth in normal fraction form. Now I have shown you how to find perimeter in normal form if you don't know the formula, and if you know the formula then it is good. Okay, if you don't know the formula, just do sum of all sides, that is length plus breadth plus length plus breadth. You may see this length is same as this, so they both are length and they both are breadth. So you can add these two. 2l, l plus l is 2l, b plus b is 2b, 2 is common, bracket l plus b. This is from distributive property of, I have told you in this first chapter. This is 2 into L, 2L plus 2 into B, 2B. This is distributive property. So we have taken 2 as common. This is the formula you must have studied in class 6th. So let's take the formula only now. P is equal to 2. Length is how much? 25 upon 2, as we have written above, plus breadth is 32 upon 3. You all know how to solve it further by making these same. LCM of 2 and 3 is 6. So you may see I multiplied 3 by 3 in the first number and I multiplied 2 by 2 in the second number. So I got 2 bracket 75 by 6 plus 64 by 6. After adding them, I got 139 by 6. Then 2 ones are 2, 2 threes are 6. And the answer is 139 upon 3. Mind it, you can't cut this 2 and this 6 at this stage. At this particular stage, you can't cut 2 and 6 because this 6 is not below complete number. It is only below 75. But in this case, this 6 is below complete number. So you can cut it with 2. No issue. Okay. Now, question 5. Find the perimeter of first triangle ABE, that is this triangle ABE, and second is rectangle BCDE in the figure BCDE. So you can see this is a combination of figures, one triangle and one rectangle. I told you in the previous question, perimeter is simply sum of all sides. So first of all, if someone says what is perimeter of triangle ABE, can write like this: it is equal to AB, as it is the one side, plus BE second side, plus EA third side. You know the values very easily. 5 by 2 plus this is actually 11 upon 4 and this is 18 upon 5. Just add these three by the method we have learned before and you will get perimeter of triangle ABE. I hope you can do it on your own. Similarly, we have perimeter of rectangle BCDE. Again, you can do either sum of all sides or the formula. Now, they have given you value of ED. They have not given you value of CD. But why to worry? We all know CD is equal to BE and BE is how much? 2 3 by 4. So this is here also. We can say this length is how much? 2 3 by 4. Okay. I request you not to leave the answers here only. Please solve these further and find the final answer. Okay. Tomorrow I will try to give you the answer key or in the next lecture. But you are requested to complete the questions I have left unsolved. Okay. Last question for today. Question number 6. Salil wants to put a picture in a frame. The picture is 7 3 upon 5 centimeter wide, and to fit in the frame the picture cannot be more than 7 3 by 10 centimeter wide. So it is saying the picture's actual width is this much, but it cannot be more than this if it wants to be fit in the frame. How much should the picture be trimmed? Suppose you have a scissors with you and you have to cut the picture. The question is asking how much you will cut so that the picture just fits into the frame. Not a tough question, very easy. First see by the diagram what I am doing. I am having a frame like this whose width is how much? 73 by 10 or 73 by 10 centimeter. and I am having a picture, suppose your picture. Okay, this picture's width is 73 by 5, that is 38 upon 5. First of all, they are not comparable, so you have to make this how much? You multiply with 2 by 2 so that the denominator becomes same. So you can see this value will come larger. So that means the photo you have is having larger width than the photo frame. So you can't fit this photo in this frame. To fit the photo, you have to cut some centimeters. To find that, what you have to do? Picture should be trimmed by width of picture minus width of frame. That is 38 upon 5 minus 73 upon 10. Obviously, if this is larger, this complete width minus this width will give us the amount to be cut. I hope today's lecture was helpful for you to understand the concepts. Kindly complete the questions on your own so that tomorrow worksheet you can solve easily. Okay, in case first chapter something is left, kindly leave it now, because we are doing chapter number 2. Try to solve along with me. Okay, thank you.